The most underrated, undervalued part of your LinkedIn profile is the recommendations. Other people saying how great you are can often be more valuable than anything you can say about yourself. Nothing I have ever learned about sales and marketing, including a $5,000 sales masterclass, has helped me grow my business like recommendations from former clients. This is true for more than just sales. As a job seeker or just as a regular professional on LinkedIn, quality recommendations are a massive advantage. So in this video, we will cover all things recommendations: when to ask, who to ask, and what to say so you not only get the recommendation, you get something very high quality that shows what makes you special. Welcome, friends. If you're new here, my name is Grant. This channel is all about helping you build a career that you love. If that sounds good, hit subscribe and turn on the notifications. I put out new content every week. I only share the best tips that can really help you. Okay, so let's talk recommendations. Be proactive, but don't ask every single person you work with. Ask people who have directly worked with you closely. These can be bosses, colleagues, customers or clients, and if you're in school or recently graduated, professors. Even more important will be how you ask. The best scenario is that you ask in person. An email or LinkedIn message are okay, but face-to-face is better. It's also good to ask at a high point in your relationship. Maybe a project just went well, you got a great performance review, maybe a client just told you how much your service is helping them. Ask at one of these high points. You also want to ask when you will definitely see that person again. It's okay to ask former colleagues to write you recommendations, but it's probably better while you're still working there. If you're asking a client or a customer, don't ask at the end of the last meeting you'll ever have with them. This isn't meant to pressure people, but they will be more likely to do it if they know they'll see you again. When they have another meeting with you, they'll be reminded, oh yeah, I told Grant I'd write him that recommendation, and then they'll be more likely to actually do it. When you ask them, you want to do 4 things. First, have some reason for wanting the recommendation. They seem to be getting a ton of value out of your service, and success stories help a lot. You're updating your LinkedIn and would love to make it more complete and professional. Or you're looking for a new job, you're hoping to stand out, and a recommendation from a leader like them would really help. 2, always make it a question, never a statement. It's never, I want a LinkedIn recommendation from you. It is always, would you be open to writing me a recommendation on LinkedIn? Third, let them know it's fine if they don't do it. You don't want to pressure people. Sometimes they're just not comfortable writing a recommendation. This is true for a lot of the clients I work with. Many of them don't want people to know I help them with their job search or with their work presentations. Don't judge people, don't treat them differently if they say no. 4, be clear where the recommendation will go. Sometimes people are confused and they might think you're asking them to write a LinkedIn post. If you anticipate there might be some confusion, maybe have your profile opened up on your computer or your phone. Whenever you ask them, you can show them on your profile where the LinkedIn recommendation will go. Let's look at a full example of this. Let's say you're talking to one of your team members, you've worked with them for a while, you helped design a product that was recently launched and was very successful. Hey John, quick favor to ask if you don't mind. Sure, what's up? I'm updating my LinkedIn and read that recommendations can really make your profile look more professional. Would you be okay with writing a short recommendation that could go on my profile? I'd be happy to write you one as well if you'd like. Yeah, sure. What do I need to do? Thanks a lot. I'll send you a message on LinkedIn with a link to write the recommendation. Would you like me to write one for you too? Sure, that'd be awesome. Perfect. Yeah, I'll do that later today. Thanks. If they say no, don't get upset and don't treat them any differently. If they do say yes, here's what to do next. Go to LinkedIn, click here on their profile, and click Request a Recommendation. But don't just click Send. You want to add a little bit to this message that can lead to them making a really good recommendation. First, you definitely want to thank them, and depending on who it is, give them 2 or 3 specific things you'd like them to talk about if they're not sure what to say. This can kind of depend on your relationship. Maybe you wouldn't do this with your boss, but a lot of people appreciate you giving them a few things to talk about. It can make it easier for them. It can also lead to a much better recommendation. In terms of recommendation quality, it's generally better to have recommendations about specific actions and impact you've created over just general compliments. For example, Grant is a great designer and works hard is kind of forgettable. Compare that to this. Grant is one of the best designers I've ever worked with in my 15-year career. The design he created for our latest SaaS service was a huge improvement over previous designs. Customers loved it, and it was a major reason that this launch was the biggest and most successful of the past 2 years. Beyond that, he's also... See how much better this is already? It's so much more unique, and it really shows our talent as a designer. You don't want to force people to say stuff like this, but a few good suggestions in your message can be really helpful. So here's an example of what we could say in our recommendation message to John. Thank you so much, John. If you aren't sure what to say, maybe you could talk about 1, the improvements to our SaaS product's design compared to previous versions. 2, how successful our latest launch was. Really appreciate you doing this. Having a recommendation from such an experienced designer will be extremely valuable. Have a good one. Something else to keep in mind, this concept of other people talking about how great you are is not limited just to LinkedIn recommendations. Save positive emails from customers you've worked with, or your boss complimenting you on how great your project was. Screenshot your perfect customer satisfaction rating, anything that proves you are great at the work you do. The more of these assets you have, the better position you'll be in to sell yourself to others. Final tip for this video. This has been focused on getting recommendations, but you should also be giving recommendations. If you write great recommendations about others, people are gonna like you, they'll be more likely to write one about you, and it's just nice. Creates a positive impact in the world in a really small way. So anytime someone does work that impresses you, write them a recommendation. They're likely gonna really appreciate it. Okay, that is about all for this video. Let me know what you think below. Do recommendations matter in the business world? Why or why not? I would love to hear your thoughts. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.